Hi. You go. But I wanted to say thanks to Taylor, but I do it every day, so it's okay that he's run off. And I wanted to say thanks to Ian because I've been with the framework roughly from the start almost. So and without user-scape support and Ian's support, especially, we wouldn't be where we are today. I've seen that happen, so it's really cool. Thanks. Right, I put this together to talk about. I've muted. I wonder if I could just put this here. There we go. Yeah, I want to talk about the last year because I started with Laravel kind of early, and it's really amazing the progress we've made in this amount of time. So I just want to talk about what's happened in this past year. So we'll start. This was my fun Photoshop session. I probably did this before I wrote the talk because I'm a bit like that. More on that later, actually. So about me. I put a picture there in case you can't, tell what I look like. So that might be handy. I thought about that after. That's a bit weird. Okay, so I'm a 28-year-old, pretty old developer from Wales, United Kingdom. We'll find out about Wales in a sec. I'm technically, it says on here, I'm a core developer for the Laravel PHP framework. Developer's a bad term. I kind of do random stuff. That's the best way to put it. But that's what it says. That's what Taylor says. You can email me on that address. You can follow me on Twitter there, and I'm constantly tweeting about Laravel. That's pretty much all I do. So if you don't like Laravel, and I don't know why you're here, if you don't like Laravel, just don't follow me. Okay, right, Wales. I said I'm from Wales. You probably don't know where that voice cracking. You probably don't know where that is at all. It's there. It's not in London. Everyone says it's in London. It's not in London. So you guys have been educated now, so you know where it is. That's cool. I'm not especially proud, but yeah, why not? Yeah, why not? I put Bora Da up there because I speak Welsh. I went to a Welsh school. Yeah, I learnt it. I didn't use it a lot after that, but I learnt it. That's how you say good morning in Welsh. It's a bit late now for morning, but there we go. Now I want to talk about where I was this time last year. This is a bit me, but it's kind of, I want to explain how Laravel has kind of changed my life. It's really weird what's happened, and you'll see at the end. So time for a bit of fun. I went crazy with the animations, by the way. I discovered that this morning, so there's going to be some weird stuff going on. All right, it's time for me to try and give away some money. Okay, so this will be fun. Is anyone feeling pretty daring at the moment? No one from Britain, by the way. Does anyone want to try and pronounce my hometown? And you can have $10 right now. Nope. You've won that. Yeah, you have won that. There you go, $10. I didn't expect that to happen so quickly. That was awesome. That was really cool. Yeah, that's Aberystwyth. Aberystwyth in Wales, so it's on the coast right there. And that picture I took on the first slide, that's actually from Snowdon up there. My girlfriend took that, so that's not like something I ripped from Lord of the Rings. That's really nearby. It's really crazy terrain, and that's the town itself. A really small student town. And I lived there for 28 years, or 27 years, 28 years, because I grew up there and I went to uni there, and I kind of never left. I got a job there after. But you'll see something's happened since then. Round 2. Who wants to make $50 right now? $50. This is one of the longest place names in the world and the longest place name in Europe. I'm going to make this $60 because I don't have a spare 10. So yeah, go for it. Sorry. No. You live down the road. Okay, you can't have that. Who can accurately repeat what he just said, and thus win $60? Come on. Yeah. Who's going to try it for 60? Come on. No one. Go. That's a bit short. Okay. Right. I'll put that there then. No one's got this. So as he said correctly, it's Canvar Pwingich Gogerich Windrobwich and Detilia Gogogoch, which is hard to say with a dry mouth, which I have right now. It's phonetically there. And I've got in my notes what it means. It It's St. Mary's Church in the hollow of the White Hazel near the rapid whirlpool and the Church of St. Cecilia with a red cave, which is pretty awesome. You could do that one, right? Cool. Right, I used to work here, and when I told people that I worked for a library, they were like, "Oh, that's cute." But it's that library, and it's pretty massive. This is the National Library of Wales, and they get a copy of every book. It's a copyright library, and it's for archival purposes, and they have digitization projects and stuff like that. And it was cool. They're really nice guys there. I'm still in touch with them. I've moved on from there. We'll see in a second. But it was fun. Everyone speaks Welsh there. I had to speak Welsh constantly in work. I had to get used to doing that again. It was pretty crazy. Yeah, I'm from CodeIgniter as well. That's where I met Sean, who's going to be talking later. We used to support a lot of people in that channel, and now we've switched over, haven't we? So they were fun times. I don't regret it. CodeIgniter was a good framework. I've got this one now. I started learning Laravel around version 2 when this site was up, and I loved this site. I was crazy about it, and yeah, I must have read through it about 50 times or so. It was like reading a novel to me, and I became addicted when I read this, and I think a lot of people found that. A lot of people came to the framework when they read this stuff. I've got a joke there that I still owe Phil Sparks 800 support credits. He was like the first guy that knew anything about Laravel. He was the only one around, and he kind of taught me the stuff that I couldn't get from the docs. So that's where I was, version 2. Then, ready for the release of 3, I made this thing, which is one of the first bundles. I reckon some people have used it. It was like a generator type program, but Jeffrey, who's sitting somewhere, where are you sitting? Piano, there we go. Yeah, Jeffrey's made one that kicks the ass of this one. Sorry, I swore. But, that's way better than this one, and you should just use his now for Laravel 4. It's been updated. Go for it. It's like what Taylor said the other day, reinventing the wheel is sometimes a good thing. And yeah, I've been beaten. Jeff did some awesome work, so use that. That logo, it took a team of designers about 10 years to make. So yeah, I'd paid a lot for that. My first contributions were like graphic ones. I did some coding, but I helped out with the theming of a lot of the sites, like the API and stuff like that. I wanted to point that out because you don't have to be specifically a coder to contribute to an open source project, and we'll find out more about that later. I did the paste bin, stuff like that, little things to help along, and that's how I got started, as well as some code I've put there. You guys might have used this. You probably didn't know that it was called Anbu originally. It was a separate bundle that I created, just completely standalone, and it later got included into the core, so that was another thing that I worked on. There'll be another one coming soon, but Taylor's going to tell you more about that, so I don't want to spoil it for him. Cool. That's all I wanted to say. There's something about... Oh, yeah, screenshot was stolen from Jesse O'Brien's post, so thanks. The International Man of Mystery. He's not international, he's American. I found this out later. But Taylor wasn't really around. We didn't get to know each other until like a while after, did we? We were sort of, yeah. Taylor wasn't kind of active in IRC, and that's where I was looking for most of my help. So I didn't know him then, but this is a year back. I accidentally wrote a book. Not many people can say that, I guess. I completely accidentally wrote a book. It started as a series of tutorials on my blog, and people kind of liked them. They suggested I put more in, so I wrote a few more, and then Eric probably doesn't remember this, but you were the guy that said you should check out this you should check out this lean pub thing. He said it roughly like that, and yeah, and I'm glad he did, because yeah, it turned out all right. Yeah, that counts a bit behind now. It's like 2,200 and something as of the other day. There's gonna be more on that later. A few translations. Worked well, plenty of readers. I should have put my notes better here. Okay. Luishi is or Lushui is a panda up in Chester Zoo in the UK, and most of the pictures that I've used have sort of came from them. My girlfriend took these. I think they're kind of cool. Apparently, according to Taylor, who wrote my bio for this, I've inspired millions. see all of you right here, millions to start using Laravel. And it's really obvious now. But yeah, hopefully I've inspired a couple of you. That would be cool. That would be nice. Imagine fuzzy wobbly. There wasn't a fuzzy wobbly stuff transition in Keynote. I'm like really disappointed about that. I'm going to complain. I'm going to sell my Mac. So what's a year of open source contributions done? What can get done? Let's have a look at me again. I live in Cardiff now, this is your capital city. That's ours. It's pretty big. It's not bad. I live down in the bay there, and I walk all the way up every day to get to work. So down here, used to be on the coast. A little bit of a move. See if I can move further later. And I work for these guys who are really cool. They're awesome. There's one of my team members, John, on the side there. He's like a really awesome little happy guy. They're good. They use best practice. We have these cool CI screens on the wall. We have Jenkins-driven continuous integration. We can see all of this on the fly. We do a lot of cool stuff, loads of different languages. There's about 50, probably more, probably about 70 developers now. So it's a fun place to work. It's awesome, and I had to put this in. Hopefully, I'll get a promotion out of it. Yeah, it's a cool place to work if anyone wants to work in the UK. I became a core team member on the 7th of June, and this is how Taylor announced it. I had to modify this slide. I put something there. I had to modify this. But yeah, that was pretty cool. I've put down here, I was kind of already a core team member by then. We kind of agreed on it. We were talking about this the other day, and like I was already helping out with stuff, but this is his official announcement. So that's cool. That's awesome. I've been helping kind of to build elffor. I mean, Taylor's rocked this thing, and he's done so much work, but we've been chatting like every night, and we've been chatting about how we can change things, make things easier for you. So it's I've been helping with that. I've been working on some upcoming design work. You might get to see it at some point, hopefully, but we're not showing anything about that right now. Helping with the documentation, I wrote the reader for it and the theme for that, and helped Taylor work on it and shape it into what it is now, which hopefully you like the Laravel 4 documentation. I think it's pretty sweet. Right, I've been playing with some of the features. You know, you got to use it, find out what's going on. And I put at the bottom of my notes, if Taylor can teach me how to use it, anyone can learn it. That's true. That really is true. Right. I've been writing more ebooks. I've been working on this thing, which you'll find more about later. That's Luigi again. Yeah, I'm hoping to write a CSS book this year because I really like front-end stuff. So there'll be something else to look out for. This is most of my evenings now. Honestly, this is how it goes. We're on IM like constantly, and I say, hey, this would be cool, and then Taylor completely schools me on it, and then like does something really amazing. That's how it goes. Yeah, and it's like the next day it's done. You know, yeah. You shouldn't be hiding at the back. There's some awesome praise here, man. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I've put here constantly getting schooled by Taylor and way smarter than me. True, but you know that's how you learn. A year of progress. We probably don't need wobbly stuff this time. Let's have a look at some like stats and facts about what's happened. So I got Taylor to rip these out for me. I was going to ask him for a diagram, but then I couldn't be bothered. Last January, we were at 300 hits a day. By April, we were at 3,000. Now we're at 14,000. Next month, I did some really complex maths here. I'm pretty good at maths, and I predicted that that's roughly accurate down to about 42. So I'm hoping that this will happen, especially after today, you know. Yeah, close to the nearest Google or so. Code Happy now has 200. It has more than that. Some came in yesterday. It's 2,214 at the time that I wrote this. It's been translated into about 9 languages so far. There's even more translation requests on hold for CodeBright. I've had loads of offers, which is cool, and hopefully I can get this out in more languages. What I tend to do is I just say like split the profits right down the middle for sales on that translated item. Tends to get people to do it. More languages we get this out there, more people likely to pick this up. So I think that's kind of cool. I've put down here that I get some fan mail from the book, which is really weird, but there's always a comment on that should go to Taylor, really, about how awesome the framework is. And I think that's worth noting. We on to the new transitions? No, we're still on the list. Cool. I live here. If you've met me before, it's probably from here. This is our IRC channel, and when I started, we honestly had 3 people in the channel. It was myself, Taylor would pop in every now and again, and Phil Sparks, who was like the first guy to support Laravel pretty much, so I owe him a lot of thanks. He couldn't be here today, unfortunately, but he's an awesome guy, a fellow Brit, and one of the team members. I put silent Otwell because he was so quiet. He's not quiet anymore. It's really awesome that we have Machiga. Had to mention him in this talk, otherwise he'd feel left out because he couldn't be here today either, but that's cool. I put there, come and join us. Really do come and join us. This is like the best place to get involved with the community. So if you haven't visited this place already, just jump in there, look at a guide if you haven't used IRC before. I think most of you probably will have though. It's super friendly, something we need to keep that way. We really need to keep it that way. I'm hoping you guys are part of that. It's zero hassle. It's just plain awesome. I'm going to stop for a couple of seconds to take any questions because I've gone for quite a while, and I was gonna see if there are any questions. Anyone? Hello. You said you would design the where did the logo come from? I didn't design the original
question about the Laravel homepage and logo design.
Yeah. Userscape actually funded this a while ago, prior to version 3, wasn't it? I think, which is
we are Fixel did the design of the logo and the Laravel website.
And Eric, that's standing next to Ian there, Eric did a lot of the work on the main website. What I did was I took some of that. And we were talking about it and hanging around, and I applied that skin to a few of the other things and helped out there. So it was pretty cool. It was a team effort. It was fun, and again, thanks to Ian, is one of the fine examples of like how we couldn't have got where we are right now without Userscape and his support. Any others? Hello.
Suggestions for newcomers to open source?
What you said was accurate. Just the community. Get involved with the people that are really behind it. You can learn a lot from them. I mean, I still hang around on IRC every day, and I'm learning things every day. I'm stupid. I'm always learning things. I think that's a good way to be. Yeah, get involved that way and see what you can do, and don't be afraid to just give your input if you think you can provide something of value. Just go for it. Yep. Anyone else? Yeah, I was hoping there might be more because I'm talking really fast and I haven't timed this. Is it? Yeah. That's a good one. I'll echo that because.
Which of Dale's custom color schemes does he prefer?
That's a tricky one. I used to like Peacock. I thought Peacock was really cool. I thought it was a few shades. By the way, I like pacing around. This isn't just me being nervous. I like this when I'm doing a tour. It's probably really annoying for the guy filming it. Yeah, I like Peacock, but I also I really like Gloom. Has anyone seen Gloom? I added that really recently. It's like a modification of Peacock that's a bit darker. Actually, this gives me a perfect opportunity. I didn't want to do an awesome coding talk today because Jeff completely hammered it yesterday. He did so well, honestly, like really cool. But I wanted to complain that you were using Monokai as your standard theme. You sure? Okay. I didn't even notice it was ST3. That's cool. Awesome. Thanks a lot. Cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Turn down the AC. Okay, we will.
I was kind of glad that you turned it on. Actually, I was sweating in the front before, so. But you can do that. Yep. Cool. Anyone else, or are we good? Can I carry on? Awesome. Yep. I didn't. I should have thought about that. Yeah, I know. No, no, I didn't. Sorry. The physical copies don't really sell that well, so that's probably why it didn't occur to me. Like, I say they didn't sell quite well. I think I've sold like 70, something like that. But that's quite low compared to the ebooks. I think ebooks are probably the way forward. I should have thought of it and brought some across. Like I've sent some signed ones to like all the team members and stuff. So I'll do that next year. Like there's a new one coming, and if I can come out here next year, if you're crazy enough to invite me back, I'll bring some print copies and we can do some fun stuff there. Yeah, thanks. Anyone else? Nope. Awesome. I'll carry on and hope that I make it to 40 minutes. It's your turn to get involved. We're here in America, so I thought I'd be Uncle Sam. That's pretty cool. That was a couple of hours of Photoshop. Pull requests on GitHub. Pull requests, all the things. This is a good way of us to track your contributions. So pull requests for contributing to the core. So those would be all of your cool nerdy stuff. Pull requests for contributing to the documentation. That's just as important, if not more important in a way. So if you see something that isn't quite, explained well enough, then just go for it and go in there, and we'll accept it if it's cool. We might reword it, but yeah, it's valuable to have those changes. Also, pull requests for framework assets and templates. I was saying how you don't have to be a developer to make a contribution to a project like this. If you're a designer and you want to throw some cool stuff our way, do the same thing. Do a pull request for it. So that's in there. The core, I didn't miss anything there. Awesome. Yeah, I wrote my notes way too long, so I'm just studying them at the end of saying everything. Pull request for dummies. I wanted to do this, like, a lot of you will know how to do it, but I wanted to make sure everyone knows how they can contribute to the project. So we're going to have a quick run through of creating a pull request and contributing to the core. So first of all, this is a new thing for Laravel 4. You make a proposal issue. This is because Taylor came up with this. We don't want you wasting your time. We'll be able to decide whether it's of huge value, and then you can go ahead and contribute. So give us a good description of what you're planning to do, and tag it with proposal at the start. That's just a normal issue. It won't be on that repo probably, will it? Will we be putting the issues on framework or Laravel? Oh, it will be on Laravel framework. Okay. I took these screenshots. All of these screenshots coming up on Laravel, which is like the app project, but it will be going on the framework repo. So keep that in mind. Just change them in your head. Photoshop them on the fly. Wait to see what happens. All right. He says all right if it passes, and if it fails, then don't cry. We need to make sure the quality is high on what we pull in. It's the same with any project, but we're happy for any contribution. Don't be afraid. Just send it, and we'll see what happens. And if it does pass, you fork the repository to your own account. You create your own copy of the repositories for you to work on. So you hit that button there on that tiny screenshot. Then you check the code style and contribution guidelines. This is important to any project. Like this can apply to a lot of things. Make sure you do this because everything's so clean in Laravel 4. We don't want to mess that up. And you should look, because Taylor does some funky stuff with PSR. Like he's got this class declarations on the same line and the namespace on the same line. And you want to stick to that when you're working with Laravel 4. You should clone the fork to your local machine. You don't want to work on it on GitHub. You can now. You can do pretty much anything through GitHub now, but you don't want to. You want to clone that down. There's an example of that command. I'm not going to run through it because it's not like a live coding example. But you want to do that. Then you can work on it on your local LAMP stack or whatever you got going on. You create a new branch. One feature per branch when you're sending contributions. This is sensible with like every project on GitHub. So you make a new branch, name it something sensible. There's a laugh coming from. Was there a joke? I was glad when I took the screenshot. You can probably see it there, but my terminal was sort of slightly see-through, and I could have had something really dodgy in the background. But luckily, I think I came out okay. You can commit your changes. Yeah, you probably want to do that before you send it to us. And make sure you're testing as you go along, because Laravel 4 is really, really, really well tested, and we want to keep it that way. So make tests for your code, run the test for the framework as a whole, and make sure that passes. That's really, really important. Commit your changes. Please use a descriptive commit message. That's common sense, not like my example, which is which is not common sense, or ignore me. That's good advice for like ever. Push your changes to your fork, so you're pushing it back up to GitHub now. The command's there, git push origin. I'll put the slides up somewhere at some point when I compress the images and they're not 800 megs. So you push that up. Normally I call my remote fork the same, so that's a feature. It's common to prefix with feature. It's just a cool way of showing that it's a new addition to the framework. And then you make your pull request. There's some important things here. You want to mention the proposal issue in the comment body. I think that's cool. In GitHub, you can use like a hash symbol and reference another issue by like a number that you can find in the URL. So mention your proposal, and now you won't have to copy all your stuff out again. We know exactly what you do then, unless you made any changes. Am I talking too fast? Like, I know my accent's really difficult. Hopefully it's okay. It's all good. Cool. Use a descriptive title. We're gonna, that's the first thing you see when you work through the issues, so that will help us out a lot if you could do that. Explain the issue in the comment I put here, but if you can link back to the old one, that's not as important, as long as the proposal is descriptive. And our automated CI will run, which is currently Travis, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up Jenkins for us. I'm going to make a new VPS somewhere and set up Jenkins and hook that up, because it's most of the time when we have a failing build with Travis, it's not a failing build, it's just Travis not able to pull down like a dependency or something like that, and it's just ruined the whole test suite. So I'm going to go with Jenkins. It works a bit better. If you're not a developer, as I've said a couple of times, you can still contribute, because we've got these cool sites to work on. There'll be some stuff coming in the future, and then you can help out with that. Like that's my documentation theme. I've got the docs reader under my GitHub account. You can contribute to that. I think a few people were tempted to make a responsive version. I heard some rumors around. That would be cool. I didn't have the time. That would be awesome. If you want some artwork to go with this, you can go and look at Laravel/art on the under our organization, and there's a lot of stuff in there. I'll add some more actually, maybe some promotional stuff you can throw on your site and get more people using Laravel. I think that would be pretty cool. Documentation contributions, these are important. Make them as you see them coming. Like get full agreement from Sean there. That was like really enthusiastic. I completely lost where I was. But yeah, he's right. This is the most important part of the framework, and there's some cool stuff coming later, other ways you can help out with that. Here we go. Indirect contributions, and I've promoted Sean nicely here. He's done some awesome work, him and some other guys on Laravel Internet, which is a cool kind of. It's not just a blog now anymore, is it? It's a lot of stuff there, and it's a really awesome resource to start learning Laravel. So check that out and make your own stuff. The more tutorials and the more blog posts and reviews and stuff like that we have, the more people are likely to go, that looks kind of cool, and come over to the framework. And the more people we have using the framework, the more of this stuff we get, and it's a loop of people helping each other out and making it easier to pick this up, and we get more code. It's all brilliant, all of it. I'm running out of breath. Promote the framework using your application. So if you've got like a demo or like a side project, maybe you could throw on there that it's built with Laravel. That'd be cool. I could understand that if you couldn't do it with client work. That's just something to think about. Let us know what you're building if it's something cool. We can help you promote it. So that would be awesome. Cool. Become a part of the community. This is my big thing. This is what I do. I want you guys to be a big part of this and help kind of steer the future of Laravel. So join us on IRC. That's where I am constantly. You should follow Laravel PHP on Twitter, because that's where you can get most of the updates. Taylor's got access to that account, and he's constantly posting stuff there, and that's where you can get like all the slight tweaks that he's made. I think we want to find an additional way of doing that, like maybe a blog somewhere, so you can follow that and see exactly what's going on. So we'll look into that in the future. You should join the forums. They're now hosted on Laravel ins and outs. Sean set that up. It's a cool place. I don't use forums. It's not that they're not cool. I don't feel forums. So if you want me, just like get me on IRC or Twitter. That's the best way. And visit the no, you're here. That's awesome. You don't have to visit the conference. Build your own small conferences. I put down here. I want to run this in Europe in a few months' time. Hopefully, a few of you guys can come over as well, and we can get a smaller thing going. I think that would be kind of cool. But maybe you could make like Laravel user groups in your own countries or your own states. Get something going. Convince some more people to use the framework for the reasons I just mentioned. I think that's a cool thing to do. You should tell your friends. It's obvious. Your friends will look like this because they'll be so happy from using Laravel, and it'll make them more handsome. It really does. I mean, I didn't look as awesome as I do now before I started using Laravel, so it's something that will happen. I put down here, you should tell your coworkers, tell your friends, you should tell your mailman. That's what you call them out here, right? Not postman. Cool. Yep. Yeah, do that. CodeBright. Let's get some info on the new book that's coming. So it's still Luigi. The cover's a bit brighter, and it's called CodeBright because of Illuminate. Do you want to shout out, Taylor, why it's Illuminate? Just sounded cool. That's not what he told me when we started. He said he wanted to brighten up the world, the PHP world. All right, okay, yeah. I'm going to go with that. It sounds cool, though. Awesome. It used to have light bulb on, as you got from the question before the other day. That's gone now. We need to get that back in, even if it does nothing. Need a facade there. That'd be cool. Yeah, sunglasses aren't included with the new brighter cover, so you'll have to find those yourself. I get a lot of emails. I get a lot of emails about the book, and I like to listen to them, even though sometimes I'm terrible at replying to emails. I try to. So if you've emailed me, hopefully I've got back to most of you. But I listen sometimes, and I want to use that advice that you're given to make this new book bigger and better, just like the framework is now. I don't want to detract from the overall feel of the book, because I think that's something that people like, and it makes it really approachable. So I need to do this cleverly. So here's how I'm going to do that. I've put down here, thanks for your help, because it's going to make the new book so much better. Thanks. I've got use case examples. I had them before. I'm going to put more in. It makes sense. They're the best way you can learn these things. Just put more of those in, several of them. So that's the first simple change. File location in every example. I've been asked this a few times, and I really need to do it. So every single file now will have that in it, every single example, including templates and everything. What this means is you can use it as a reference book. It's easier to use as a reference book because you can flick to the example, and you might already know which file it goes in, but now you definitely know which file it goes in. It will aid newcomers. That's what I put down here. That's pretty obvious. I don't know why I wrote that there. Yep. Existing users will probably see this kind of stuff as a standard. Yeah, I put things, some of the examples, like Laravel gives you a lot of freedom to put stuff where you want it. And I get worried that people read my book and think, this is the standard now, putting this thing there. So you need to not take it as a standard, really, but I'm going to have to put more notes in about that. I don't want to confuse people in that sense. So that's one thing I'm worried about. If you can help me out with that, let me know. More built-in app examples. People have asked for this. Yeah, the blog thing was kind of cool. I think it's broken at the moment. I need to go back and look at it. But I want to do more of them. I want to do some cool stuff. Has anyone got any cool ideas of things you'd like to see built in Laravel as like an example? Because I'm dry. Yeah. Facebook. If I could I build it and profit off it? That would be really awesome. Yeah. Anything else? Facebook, Twitter. Someone's going to say Twitter, but I think Jeffrey did a good series, isn't it, on building Twitter in different frameworks. There we go. There we go. Awesome. Yep. So a few languages there. How to build Twitter. Okay, Taylor. No, okay, he said that he'd like to see a tutorial on polymorphic relationships, so we can look at that and we can put it in. And yeah, definitely, I want to put some advanced topics in there, and there's something coming up that will explain why that will be a lot easier. Where's that voice? Jesse, you were like, you didn't move your hand, so I was looking around the room for the voice. Personal finance. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, I see what you mean. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, that's a really good idea. Yeah, we can look into that. That'd be cool. Yeah, thanks for that. That'd be awesome. Yeah, so if you can think of anything, just email me and then I'll take a look or tweet me or something. But the book's going to be for like you guys, and you can help build it for like newcomers to the framework. It's like really important to have a resource like this, I think. So the more you can help out with that, the better it'll be. More sections. I've split it up, refactored, I guess, to make more sense. I think it's kind of good in the old one, but like I was going over my slides with Taylor last night, and I explained this to him. Like, I'll explain like the basics of routing, and then I'll want to explain like root groups because they go with it. But I want to use a filter to explain root groups because they're pretty cool together. But I haven't explained filters yet, so I want to tackle that in like a more sensible way, so you can read through it in a way that you would if you were kind of making an app, if you see what I mean. So that's something I want to look at. It's something I've been doing. Hopefully it'll come out better. I said I want to make this book good for everyone. That should be an obvious thing. I've written down some really silly stuff here. I should review this stuff before I say it. That would be awesome. Do you guys do that? That was awesome. The Legends of Laravel. This is some fun stuff. Check this out. These are pictures of Jason Lewis that I managed to locate. They're really awesome, I thought. Jason couldn't be here. He's Australian. He's cool, and he's really helpful in the community. I've got these little kind of chatty things going on in the book, like mini stories to help you understand some of the concepts. And Jason's like one of the first ones in it, and his shelter for mustache marsupials. So that gives you an idea of how crazy it is. But there's going to be more like about the common characters in the Laravel community. So if you hang out around on IRC enough, you might end up there. So that's a warning, I guess. Yeah, it's a bit of fun, and I put "Don't sue me" in the slides. That would be awesome if you could not do that. That would be cool. But English. I put down some excuses here for my terrible English. In that I am Welsh. I thought that was a pretty good one, and I'm a developer, not an English scholar. But I want to improve. I want to work on it. I've been working on it. I'm terrible for like comma splicing and stuff like that, and I know that I'm terrible. I've had a lot of comments. But I want to work on it, but I also don't want to ruin the craziness of the book and like how it's like really common English, and you feel like I'm talking right to you. That's what I wanted to do like all along, was feel like I'm sitting in a room talking to you about Laravel, and that's important to me for the book. So I've got to find this balance there and hopefully get it right. But I put here thanks for your feedback, because it's true. I need to work on it. So I'll try my hardest. Scouts on. That's the thing here, scouts, aren't they? Yeah, you guys have scouts. That's cool. Is the book still fluffy and approachable? I don't know if it's going to be printed on anything fluffy, but yeah, the content will be. I just spoke about that. I really want to make it make sense for everyone. Yes, I answered that on the slide. I shouldn't have answered that. That's okay. It's still wacky. It's still written without fancy words. It's going to be spoken to you. It's still a complete guide to Laravel from the ground up, and it's still not Dre. I thought that was kind of cool. I thought, no, never mind. I'm British, and people don't get me here. Yeah. We've got an additional author. This is like a really exciting thing. Taylor's going to be working with me on this book, which is why we can cover some advanced topics, because I'm obviously pretty stupid. But I can make things easy to read, and Taylor can explain some really awesome stuff and his concepts on working on it. These are the advantages of that. He's good with them word things. As I explained on the other slide, I'm not. So it's good to have like a second pair of eyes on the book. He can explain advanced topics such as like IOC and dependency injection and testing. I can explain them, but I think he'll do a better job of it for you. He can explain the features that I've not used to an extent, because he knows them inside out, and I only know them from playing with them. So I think that's a cool feature to this. And he can actually give you a bit of a backstory on why he developed it that way, and I thought that might be a really cool like inclusion for the book. I've also put down here that I'm splitting the profits down the middle with Taylor on this, which gives him like a bit of cash back into the framework, if you see what I mean. You know, it's just a cool way of getting some money back to him, because he doesn't get a lot for this. And I put that you should donate if you can. He's got like a tip service on there, and you should do that. I think I covered all of that. Okay, you probably want to know when the book's coming out, because I get asked this like every day, or every 5 minutes, or like every time I take a breath. When's it coming? When it's ready. You get that? No. Yeah, I like saying that. That's what I said about elffor. But actually, it's going to be shortly after the final release of Laravel, which you'll discover from Taylor. So I'm going to release a couple of chapters. Pretty much, I don't know if you all know how the original Code Happy book worked, but it was I released a few chapters, and I've got the service that lets me sort of publish more and update it as I go along. Yeah, and cheers. And that way I can update it later, which is the main thing. I can give updates to the framework changes, but that means that I'm gonna add chapters as it goes along. So this book could be gigantic when it's done, and you'll get some value out of that. So I haven't set on a publishing platform yet. It could be LeanPub again. I've got a few other options. Me and Taylor is still working that one out. Updates will be for free. We need to make sure that works out. I think that's a cool thing to have in the book. And that is my last slide. I've cancelled it. I should have left it up. Yeah, I wanted to say thanks to you guys, really, because, you know, I thanked Ian and I thanked Taylor, and you guys are a major part of the community. And, you know, if people weren't using this, no one would get the book. No one would be here. No one would be interested in what I say. So I want to say thank you to all of you. So can you give like everyone a round of applause? That would be awesome. It's not for me, it's for you. Great. Thanks for listening. Have you got any questions at all you'd like to ask? Yep.
It's about pull requests.
Sure.
You had mentioned that you do extensive testing.
Mm-hmm.
You commit that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Should you commit your tests?
Yeah, you should include them with your pull request and send it back, because the more code coverage we can get, you know, the more robust the framework is, and the more people will trust it. And it's a good indication of like whether your code actually runs. You know, when our continuous integration platform sees that, it gives us a quick overview. We like to test it ourselves, but it's really handy. Yep. Yeah. That's a good question.
Does your employer use Laravel?
We don't, no. We use Symfony. I've had to learn Symfony 2 and Doctrine for what we're working on. They want to try it, which is pretty cool. But the problem is that, you know, they're quite a well-set company, and they're set in their ways with Symfony at the moment. They've got a lot relying on that. They want to try Laravel for some like smaller projects to test it out. I've been told that from the bosses there. So I think that'll be kind of cool. But working with Symfony has helped. Like I've seen some things that that I can use in Symfony that maybe aren't there in Laravel yet, and Taylor and I will be chatting about those and seeing if we can implement them in a better way, and it's been really useful. Yeah. Anyone else? Okay. Awesome. Thanks for listening.
Thanks.
Cheers. Thank you.